What's up? Welcome back, guys, and today we're going to be going over the new legend, Octane. Now, Octane has only been out for a few days, but he's quickly become my favorite legend. He's fast, he's aggressive, and his kit is really focused on chasing down kills and getting high kill games. You're meant to chase people, you're meant to move fast, and you're meant to be aggro. And today we're going to be going over the tips and tricks that I felt made my Octane even more efficient. Now, if you haven't already, guys, make sure to hit that sub button so you won't miss any of my future guides, and I will also be doing weapon guides that are going to be coming soon, so be ready for that. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into the video, guys. Now, Octane's passive ability is called Swift Mend. This passive allows you to heal 1 health every 2 seconds, and this is obviously extremely useful. Now, this comes especially in handy after the first 1 or 2 fights of the game. After those fights, you might not have a lot of resources on you, and you might need medkits, and you might need syringes, but you don't have them on you because you just fought, you had to scrap it with whatever you found on your dropping site. But luckily, you're going to be looting, and the next time you get into a team fight, you're most likely going to have full health since you're just constantly healing. And that's the first tip I want to give you. After you finish a fight, if you're missing a little bit of health, don't use your resources. Just let your passive ability take care of it. Now, of course, this is a gamble since in a BR you can run into a team at any time, but there have been times where I'm missing maybe 20 to 30% of my health, maybe even 40, and I don't use a medkit or a syringe, and I just let my passive ability take care of it. Now, you also have to take into consideration what kind of armor you have. Whenever I do this, I have to have a blue armor or better. But if you have a white armor or no armor, then you might not want to let your passive take care of that small health because you might get into a fight, and since your armor is not too good, you can't take too much damage. So it might be better to heal on that occasion. But Octane is a very gambling type of character. You kind of have to commit or not commit. It's kind of a all-in kind of person. So again, you have to decide if this is the best thing to do. If you feel like you can get away with not healing up, then go for it. It's not a problem. Now we're going to get into his tactical ability, and this is the reason that you might want to have full health after a fight. His tactical ability is called Stim, and this takes away 10 health, but gives you 30% movement speed for 6 seconds. Now this can have a big impact on gameplay, and it can make a big difference in a team fight. 10 health is nothing compared to the amount of movement speed you get and the benefits you get from it. So starting with that, the first tip I'm going to give you for this tactical ability is to not be afraid to use it. 10 health is honestly not a lot, and to be honest, the benefit you get from moving extremely fast for 6 seconds is way worth it. So don't be afraid to use 2 or 3 of them back to back since the cooldown is only 2 seconds. Now of course you have to take into consideration what kind of armor you have. You do want to have some health for whenever you take damage, so keep that in mind. But I figured out that the more you play Octane, the more you start to recognize what situations are the best to use this speed boost in. And like I said, this is a very gambling type of character, so there's going to be times where you're going to use your movement speed and you're going to die because you were missing that little bit of health, and that's fine. That's just the way the character is, and you can't be down on yourself about it. There are also going to be times where just because of that movement speed, you're going to get away with winning a team fight that maybe you shouldn't have won. So it goes both ways, and it's a, small risk, big reward type of deal, so don't be afraid to use it. Now this tactical ability will come in handy throughout the entire game, but I found out that it was most effective at the beginning when I just landed. There are a bunch of times where I die because I land and I don't find a gun, and that movement speed has made a huge difference. So you want to use this speed to find everything you need as fast as possible before you even confront anybody. An enemy player that dropped with you is going to be so confused when they run at you with one gun and you already have an armor and a gun and all that good stuff from looting 2 or 3 houses in the time it took him to loot 1. But like any BR, this is RNG, but being faster will higher your chances of getting more good stuff at the beginning, which also higher the chances of winning. Now for the next tip, this tactical ability is also a really good escape when you have to get out of trouble. If you run into a full team and you know you can't take them, then using this ability to get out of the way is probably the best choice you have. Now if you're using this to escape, make sure you unholster your gun, that way you move as fast as possible and cover even more ground. Now this can also be used offensively. If you know that somebody's about to go down, you can use the stim to chase them and kill them. Now you also want to keep in mind that this also negates things that slow you down. So like caustic gas, getting hit by nades, all those things that will normally slow you down can actually be negated by this. So you can run through caustic gas, you can get hit by nades, and you'll go the exact same speed. So if you know that there's an annoying ass caustic inside a bunker like usual, and you're trying to get him but you can't get through the gas, just stim yourself and run through, and you can just run right at him. Oh, you know about that? Yeah, throw it upstairs, get upstairs. Oh, down one on top. Okay.
What? No way, he's alone. Oh. What a fucking loser, ill.
Okay guys, now we're gonna go into his ultimate ability, which is the launch pad. Now the launch pad is this little mechanism that throws you in the air when you land on it. It's really helpful and it's a good mechanic to use to throw other teams off during a team fight. Now the first thing that people find out about Octane and his ult is that you can actually throw this device pretty far. This means that you can throw it at a location while you're running at it, so it can be set up by the time you get there, or you can even throw it to teammates that are kind of far from you just in case they need to use it. Now the first tip I'm going to give you is to use this ult to get height advantage. In any BR game, or in any game, in any shooting game in general, being on top of the enemy team will put you at an even bigger advantage to win and will higher your chances of winning by a good amount. Now one tip that a lot of people actually don't know is that you can actually jump right when you hit the launch pad to get even more air. Now the difference between these jumps are crazy, and I actually didn't know this, and I tried it by accident since I played so much Mario when I was younger. You know, you kind of have the instinct to jump whenever you land on something bouncy, since in Mario it makes you go higher. Well, it actually worked in this game too, and you really want to use it because it gets you in the air and it takes you way farther than you think it would. Now, depending on what console you play on, you might want to be careful with this. On PC, if you do decide to jump and bounce on it even higher, you're going to be in the air for a while, which means that you might be an easy target for people with good aim. If you're on console, the odds of somebody hitting you in the air like that are kind of low since it's harder to aim on the sticks, but still you might want to keep that in mind, and if you're hurt, you might not want to do this. But this tip does add on to another tip I want to give you. The way I play, and me and my team play, is that whenever we hear gunshots, we kind of run at them, because killing them not only gives us more kills and makes the game funner for us, but it also gives us better loot. And sometimes the best way to get to a team is to use the little balloons where you can rappel all the way to the top and glide towards them. Now, we all know that the balloons do take a while, but one tip that I actually started to use and actually makes us even faster and a more effective team is to drop my launch pad really close to a balloon. That way I can jump on it, do that extra hop to get even more height, and get on the balloon halfway. That way I don't have to see the animation for me to go all the way to the top. Now this only saves a few seconds, but sometimes you want to get there, especially if you want high kill games. You might want to get to the team fight as soon as possible, and these few seconds might be, a few more kills, for you and your team, or more loot, or whatever. Yeet! What the fuck?
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, dude. I can fucking chuck that shit. Now we also use this for drops. Whenever we see a drop, people kind of tend to fight for them, and we try to get there as fast as possible before they get looted, and these few extra seconds kind of help with that. So we might get there before the other team gets there, and we might get the Kraber or the Mastiff or the gold armor or whatever comes inside of it. Now the last tip I'm going to give you, and a lot of people actually don't know, is that your down teammates or even down enemies can use this to escape. If you see that your teammate got downed and you're afraid that he's going to get thirsted, you can actually throw this ult at him and he can use it to fly away and away from the team that downed him. Now, of course, this doesn't mean he's gonna live. If the enemy team really wants to thirst him, they're just gonna chase him or kill him in the air. But getting him away from that team might just give him enough time for him to live, or maybe your other teammate can revive him while you're giving suppressing fire. So it really does higher your chances, and it's a mechanic a lot of people actually don't know about, and this is very interesting. And I actually found this out a few days ago, and I was pretty surprised by it because it actually helped us. But in conclusion, Octane is a really fast and aggressive character. You really have to gamble on certain things, and you kind of have to learn to assess the situation on when to use his abilities and when not to use them. There are going to be times where you're going to die because you made the wrong choice, because you gambled too much, and that's fine. You're going to learn. There's going to be times where it's going to pay off and you're going to feel like a god. And that's just kind of the way he is, It's meant to be fun. He's meant to be aggressive. He's meant to be fast. You're meant to get kills, and you're meant to be, just pretty much chasing teams down and trying to go for the kills. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I hope you all enjoyed my guide. I really enjoyed playing Octane. He's probably my favorite legend as of now. I feel like he really fits with my playstyle, and I was kind of waiting for that. I was trying to find a new legend that I could feel connected with, and a lot of my teammates play the legends I like, so I don't really get to play, the people I like, so I'm kind of glad a legend came out that I can really enjoy. But I hope that the legends that come out after him are just as good as this one, and he really adds a new thing to the game, keeps it fresh, it keeps the game fun. And it keeps, even more mechanics that I have to learn, which makes the game even funner for me. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to sub if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my future videos. And I will be doing a weapons guide soon. It should be in the next day or two. I'm still writing the script for that. But yeah, should be up pretty soon. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you had a great day. And I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys.
Oh damn.
Down one.
He's weak. He's like one shot.
I downed him, dude.
Alright. Guy over here.
On
One left.
my roof, on my roof. This guy's nuts. So good. Oh man, that was fucking awesome. I thought you were gonna say it.
You are the Apex
Man,
champions.
imagine the big game. Nah, dude. I bet you that guy's super good. Like,
Why does he look like me though?
how's the game running for you? Super good, Punch. Awesome, dude. I haven't crashed so far. It was crashing a while before the update, and it hasn't crashed yet. So.